r/AskReddit. What is your Tinder horror story? Well, I've only gone on one Tinder date. We talked for a bit, and I agreed to pick her up at Starbucks. She looked nothing like her pictures, but I thought I should be nice and at least hang out with her for a bit. We went to her place and the entire house reeked like cat pee. Like saturated. Then as she proceeded to show me her massive collection of animal tail butt plugs, she screamed at her chihuahua and smacked it right on the nose, and without missing a beat just asks if I want to make out on the couch. I awkwardly sat down and pretended to look at my phone and made up that my grandma was dying so I could get pho. So I met this girl on Tinder and went for a lunch date. We had a pretty good connection, so we decided to have dinner as well. After having a few drinks, one thing led to another and ended up back at my place. We hooked up and went to sleep. Middle of the night I wake up. She's intensely staring at me while she's crouched behind the bed. I asked her if everything is alright. She said yes and got back into bed. I thought little creepy, but probably nothing to worry about. She lays down to cuddle with me and she's wet. At the time, I was like, damn, I must just be a stallion. Fast forward to the morning. She's gone and there's a wet puddle beside the bed. She peed on my floor. I still don't understand it. I had a bathroom, but maybe she just got lost and couldn't hold it. I did not hear from her again. Edit. Just want to be clear, we were both tipsy and not sloppy drunk. This guy asked me if I would be interested in dating his dad. Pretty sure that guy was a catfish of said dad pretending to be guy. Probably. The message he sent me was so weird. Don't leave us hanging. What was the message? This was a few years ago, so my memory is a little fuzzy. Something along the lines of, hey, my dad looked over my shoulder when I was checking out your profile. He wanted me to tell you that he thinks you're really cute. He's been really lonely lately. Would you be interested in going out with him? He's in his 50s. Here's a pic of him. Talked to him for 2 weeks before we went out, and no red flags, so we ended up going out to dinner. I said I hadn't been out in a while because I was trying to save money for a washer and dryer. He told me instead of saving for that I should save for a boob job. I didn't even know how to reply, so he followed up with, no, it's not a bad thing. My sister and mom both had small tits and got boob jobs and they look amazing. This is all before the waitress even brought our drinks. I just got up and left. Met up with a Tinder girl at Dave & Buster's. She brought me there for a ducking pyramid scheme sign up presentation. Guess I respect the hustle. We were supposed to meet at 9 PM. He fell asleep and called me at 9:30 when I was already at the carnival. I told him not to bother coming as I didn't want to see him. He asked for another chance and I agreed. Unfortunately, my dad got really ill and had to spend the next 6 weeks in the hospital with me visiting him daily. I had no time for dates and he got extremely mad. He made a fake Instagram account which he used to follow me and everybody that I followed. He then saw me in a friend's Instagram story and showed up to the restaurant we were at. He called me a whore and a liar, and we had to threaten to call the police because he would not leave. Edit. Some of you are asking how it ended, and I'll just add this to my comment. He had my number and kept calling me using different phones. I knew it was him because he'd just be silent and I could hear him breathing. He did this for over 10 months. I was even living in a different country towards the end. One day I was expecting a call from a friend and had a missed call from a landline. So I called back. It was his mom. I explained to her what was happening, and after a long silence she said, please, don't call the police. I will talk to him. Never heard from him again. Matched with my BFF's fiance after the engagement party. Screenshots of everything, and lost my BFF because I don't play that. I was uninvited to the wedding. Marriage lasted 18 months. Edit. Thank you for the gold award. Since so many have asked, I did not swipe right. I took a screenshot and asked my friend what she wanted me to do. She asked me to swipe right to see if he was active. I didn't. He messaged me asking to hook up. I told him off. He still wanted to hook up. I gave her all the screenshots. He uninvited me from the wedding because he was certain I would embarrass him. He was correct. I wouldn't sleep with my friend's fiance, nor would I pretend that he wasn't a jerk. That's why the friendship ended. She was from a culture that required marriage before children. She was desperate for a baby and thought he was her last chance. He was running for a public office and wanted the smiling wife and cute baby. Yes, they both used each other. Edited to add, yes, they had a baby. Edited to add, no, he did not get elected. If I'm reading this correctly, you were uninvited to the wedding because you were a good friend and showed them that their fiance was on a hookup/dating site. He thought that I would embarrass him at the wedding. It is possible because he was stupid enough to not only match with his fiance's best friend but also, once I told him off for it, he still wanted to hook up and he was running for public office. Shocking. I know. She just wanted a baby and culturally had to be married when popping one out. Fresh off a breakup on campus, match with this really good looking girl who is talking pure filth. Obviously I'm just an idiot with a hurt heart, so I don't question much. Head over to her place a few days later. She insisted I come over on a certain day at X, 20th o'clock. Usually I would've been sketched out, but it was the middle of the day on a B1G10 campus. What exactly could go that south? Half hour in her husband came home. I was being used in revenge plot. No more Tinder. My worst Tinder experience was pretty traumatizing for me at the time. I was a sophomore in college, and she was a junior or senior at the same school. The first time we ever hung out, I went over to her apartment and we just watched some Netflix and hung out. Nothing crazy. I was thinking this chick is super cool, we may have something here. So I leave telling her I'd like to see her again if she's down. She told me she would love to, and just hit her up whenever, and we'll make some plans. We start texting/snapchatting throughout the week, and organize some plans for the following weekend. Out of nowhere, she starts sending me unsolicited nudes. Never once asked for them, and when we were hanging out the weekend prior, there was no sexual activity at any level. We quite literally Netflix and chilled. It caught me off guard, but I was more than cool with it. I'm a young college guy and this hot older chick wants to send me nudes after only hanging out one time. Say less. Fast forward to the weekend. She comes to my apartment and we are hanging out with my roommates watching something on TV. She asks me if she can stay the night, and after sending nudes to me all week, I kind of figured what was up, so in my head I'm like, duck yes. But I tell her of course, and to be polite I offer to sleep on the couch, because we've only known each other for all of about 2 weeks, and have only seen each other in person one time prior. She tells me she'd rather me sleep in my bed with her, so I know it's on. We get to Netflix, and chilling in my room and I make a move. We start to hook up and eventually wind up having sex. I wore a condom, and finished inside of it, and tossed it off to my side of the bed. As we are laying there after a few minutes, she gets up abruptly, comes around to my side of the bed and grabs the condom off the floor and runs into the bathroom. I'm a little confused, maybe a little concerned, but kind of brush it off. As I'm laying there in my bed I hear a loud crash in my bathroom. She yells duck. I ask if she's okay, and get no response. I'm a little concerned thinking this girl just fell in my bathroom and cracked her head open or something. I go to open the door, and she is standing in my shower with one leg propped up trying to shove the condom up her vagina after she flipped it inside out. I freak out, no clue what to do. She's clearly freaked out and probably embarrassed. I have no clue. I shut the door and she immediately comes back out, says she's gonna leave and I say sounds good. I never hear from her again. First date, we went to see a movie. She brought her sister along, without consulting me first, and I somehow ended up paying for both of their tickets. Bit of a doormat, old me. We went to see Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Turns out, neither of them had seen a Star Wars film before, nor had any idea at all what was going on. Awesome. Date ended at McDonald's after the movie with 1 hour plus of her eating fries one at a time, and her sister talking shit about basically everyone at her work. To this day I'm not sure what that date was even about. There was no second date. He gave me my first kiss. I didn't hear from him for 2 days. On the 3rd day he texted me that he had been arrested. Haven't heard from him since. Thank you for watching.